Hello, lads and ladies, and welcome back for another live stream on a Sunday. We're here, and it's live. Tonight, we're joined by the usual gang. Lincoln, 10, 10, and 10. And we're joined by Jake that's not quite 10. How are you, mate? How are we?
I'll have you know, mate. I very much am on the way to becoming a 10. Yeah, no, I'm all right, mate. I'm absolutely fine. It's been a good weekend. It's been nice to just relax and just chill out and have a home game because it feels like every week at the moment. Well, for the last couple we've been on the road, so yeah, no, it's good, mate. How are you?
Yes, mate, I'm good. Matty Virtue. What can I say, mate?
What can I just say? I told you so.
Yeah, well, I had to
Good
mention
enough.
Sue yesterday. I thought, how can I shoe on Sue? And I thought, I know. I just thought, as soon as you scored, the first person I thought was Sue yesterday.
Oh, thanks,
Funny enough.
mate.
And then I thought, well, how can I get Jake in? And I went, oh, Harry's been a bit of a speed camera. And I thought, and I just wanted to go Bristol Rovers and think of you. But
How are you gonna get Bristol Rovers into a commentary between Fleetwood and Cheltenham?
I will get in one of my commentaries this year. Bristol Rovers mentioned.
We gotta do it like Rovers.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Here we go.
Make sure you drop a big like on the stream and a comment. Dropping the big likes help. Hello, Mark. Hope you're well. Thank you for joining. Oh, mate, what a goal! What a goal!
Did you see Keshi Anderson's reaction to the goal?
Oh,
that was everybody. That was everybody when that went in.
Oh, I know, it was unbelievable. Here we go, nippers. There we are. Love that.
I see you, Jack.
Was that Jack? Is it? Hello. Evening, gents. How are we? Yes, good to see you, Anne Marie. I'll always remember. Thank you very much for tuning in. Charlton are a hard team to beat. Now, they've been a hard team to beat all year under Nathan Jones. Now, you're tremendous on co-coms. Yeah. Nobody's viewing that video. Hard times.
We've got it. By the way, chat, we need to start calling him Nippers because that is his correct title. Thank you, Dan.
I said,
you in 4-0
right,
earlier.
So as you can see, Ben here, we are currently, subscriber update, on 16,380. If by the end of this stream, we get to 16,400, which is 20 subscribers, because there's a lot of people in here that aren't subscribed, I will put Nippers on here till the end of the season.
Right.
So
if people have got second accounts, I urge you to subscribe to this channel so that we can well and truly get him called Nippers, please.
So that's it tonight on League One Live. I hope you have enjoyed it. A slightly shorter episode now. Yeah, Shuey, a great result as well. Shall we get into it? Hello to everybody that is joining. Sorry if I've missed your comment. Raymond Burgess, like the tattoo, mate.
What's that is? Wow.
Exactly. Oh, my virtue.
You got a song yet?
Everybody's all right now. What?
Is that his song?
Yeah. But I changed it. Oh, Matty Virtue. He used to play for Lincoln, but he's all right now. I thought, Jake can start off. 3 likes already. Thank you very much, Dan. Hope you have enjoyed. Are we ready?
No.
Bolton Wanderers 4. Crawley 3. Can you just imagine the atmosphere inside that stadium if Ian Evatt was in charge and they go a goal down after half time? Imagine they go in at half time 0-0. They're absolutely furious that they all think it's Crawley at home. It's a shoe-in win. Hepburn.
It's a shoey in. Do you
what?
Get it? It's a shoey in.
Yeah. Also a 2-2. Again, great response. It was a mental, period, wasn't it? In the game. 4 minutes, it was 3 goals after a lackluster first half. Obviously, Will Swan getting a goal. And then they go 3-1 up. And the issue is for Crawley that all season that they don't take their opportunities, they don't kill the game off, they don't see it out. And that's the experience and the pedigree. Bolton, I thought the atmosphere from looking at videos and seeing the highlights back and seeing things back was terrific. When they went 3-1 down, the atmosphere was still there. They still believed, whereas a month ago they didn't. And that's the whole thing that's changed at the football club, which is nice. Bolton Wanderers actually now have won the last few games against Crawley. I think that's the last 3 against Crawley. Crawley, I looked on the FL stat pack for this stat. Crawley have failed to win any of their last 8 league games from sides from Greater Manchester, drawing 4, 9 league games, drawing 4, losing 5. I would also just like to make a correction. The stat's correct. Bolton is Lancashire. It's Lancashire, okay? You might be covered on Greater Manchester, but for me, it's Lancashire. I don't care what anyone says, it's Lancashire. Anyway, that's another episode. That's for Nappers with Geography.
Nippers with.
Not got the subscriber update yet. But it's a great result for them. Character personified. They go to the end. Thought Sheehan was excellent. I think he got a goal and an assist yesterday. When he's on it, he's one of the best midfielders in the league. Often enough this year, he's not been on it. Bolton Wanderers haven't been off it. Murphy, excellent. They go to the end. They ask questions, and it's 90+9. They scored that. I think that's similar time to that at Peterborough at home. Late goals. How big could that be for their season? They are still outside the playoff places, only just. But 3 wins in the last 4, better, a lot better for Bolton.
Yeah, no, you're right, Ben. In everything that you say, it was massive, and I completely agree with you. The fact that the fans stuck with the team, even though they were 3-1 down to Crawley, who only just got promoted themselves through the League Two playoffs last year. This would have been probably on paper Bolton's easiest game of the season, and they found themselves, 3-1 down after 62 minutes. But like you say, Michael Schumacher teams, I always seem to think are full with character, and I look at that Plymouth team that they went behind so many times, but they still came back and won games. Often won games quite late, similar to a John Messino Portsmouth of last year. They won a lot of games late, and that might well become a habit at Bolton. The winning goal that we talk about is an own goal. I think it's unfortunate from a Crawley point of view, but you've sort of spoken about how big it could be for Bolton, Ben. But for Crawley, I just got flashbacks of that day at Exeter all over again for them, where they were they 4-1 up at half time.
At half time,
and they ended up drawing the game by 4 each, and that really would have been a massive win for them, and to be in the position which they're in, 3-1 up away at Bolton. Any team in a game 3-1 up, Ben, should look to win. But like you say, Bolton, you can't question the quality in this Bolton team. You're talking about Sheehan there being on it massively. Claudia Lolos come on and made an impact. You've already got not Collins. You've already got Osei Tutu, McAtee, Sean, Randall all on the pitch. It's a team massively full of quality. And was I surprised? I mean, no, because it's the manager's first home game. Often these bounces tend to come certainly at home for Bolton, and it was a good win for them. They needed it because now you look at the table, Ben, with Charlton winning, with Huddersfield dropping points. That's where I feel that was a really good result. Reading dropping points, obviously, Orient not playing. It was massive for Bolton to get something on the board. And I mean, I've said to you already, I've got my top 6 decided for this season, and Bolton are in it. So just a case of Schumacher now delivering on the pitch.
Stevenage lost. Lincoln drew, but they're not in the playoff push, are they? Let's be honest.
Absolutely not, mate. Correct.
I like the way we can both agree on that now. We'll come back to that in September where you're telling me otherwise. Leyton Orient didn't play. They were busy engaged with Pep Guardiola. A bit rude. Reading drew. Bolton Wanderers won. Charlton obviously won. Huddersfield dropped points. It felt like a big weekend for Bolton Wanderers, and almost like, there you go. They've got a quarter-final on Tuesday, which, by the way, tickets went on sale and they sold out within like an hour, which is unbelievable.
Well, they were at Wrexham.
Away at Wrexham. Yeah, they literally went on sale, for a game in 5 days' time, and they sold out. They've got some big games coming. They've got Shrewsbury, Leyton Orient to come. It's nice that they've got time away from games. However, in March, Wrexham, Birmingham, Burton, Bristol Rovers, Stockport County, Rotherham, Blackpool, 7 games in 4 weeks. It is Saturday, Tuesday on most weeks bar one. It's a big month for them. We'll know a lot about them in the next 4 or 5 games. This season's felt like a bit of a free hit. at time this year for them in my eyes as well. And Bolton Wanderers are scoring goals. They've actually only failed to score in one of their last 11 games, which was away at Reading last time out as well. Crawley, 1 win in 10. It's worrying. They're not seeing out games of football. They've got to start winning games of football. Points aren't good at this stage now. They're 6 adrift. They've only got 24 points. Bristol Rovers have shown something. Peterborough, I tell you what, they're in trouble. We'll come to them very shortly. But a game that I think we should go to is Stockport 2, Barnsley 1. And I've had a bit of a go at Barnsley today. I think they ran very similar to Lincoln, and it needs to be ran on a kind of. I know Lincoln lost £3.5. Was it £3.5 million you lost, or £2.5 million?
2.8.
2.8 million, £3 million, basically, nearly £3 million. Bolton, there is money pumped in for players, don't get me wrong, but I don't see the ambition there. The January and even the summer window was poor. Barnsley probably the weakest squad that they've had at this level for a long, long time. I'd say they've got a top 6 midfield and a bottom 4, bottom 6, bottom 8. Everywhere else, they're strikers. Bar Keeler Dunn, who's not naturally a centre forward, is he? They don't really offer anything for me. Rodriguez was a panic buy. Everybody else,
loan to buy.
Everybody else had got what they wanted. They were like kind of left in the scrap and didn't bring enough quality in, and they're very patchy. And there's questions on Daryl Clark, which understandably so. There's key things that he's doing wrong, but this is a side that went away at Exeter and won. Did get hammered to late but the way you respond to that was beat Bolton, Peterborough, beat Wrexham as well on New Year's Day, beat Crawley in fashion. You're in 4 in a row, best form we've been in for years in this division, and then go and lose away at Bristol Rovers, Stevenage at home, Wickham away. You can stand for, don't get me wrong, but Burton, poor performance at home and poor yesterday. It felt very flat. And I think within the fan base at Barnsley, they understand that the business was poor. Look, it was an even game yesterday in terms of stats, 10 to 12 shots, 4 to 5 on target. But there was no quality brought in January. There was no strength there. This is a mid-table squad. No bones about it. And they are currently 10th. Yes, only 4 points off the playoffs. They've lost 11 games this year, which is actually quite poor. Rotherham have had a poor season. Have actually only lost 1 more game than them. Wigan have only lost 1 more game than them. You look at even the bottom sides like Northampton have only lost 2 more games than them. And I guess about winning games of football, which they have won 12 this year, to be fair to them. I just see Barnsley not even getting into the top 6 picture. I think I put Barnsley in around this position this year. I got slaughtered for it. I've done it the last few years as well. But I see no real talent in that attack.
Well, there's a reason why we branded them as the worst transfer window of the entire league, Ben, in our video that went up the other day. And if you haven't checked that out, please do go and check that out. But is it a members video only, or is it to everybody?
It's for everybody.
It's for everybody. So go and check it out if you haven't already. I know we got a mention on Red All Over, Ben, saying that we got the worst window, and they completely agreed with us. Yeah, I do agree that this, Barnsley supporters were told at a fans forum before the start of the season they had a bigger playing budget than last year. And in January, if you can remember, Ben, they made some pretty decent acquisitions last year. Whereas this time around, like you mentioned, Rodriguez scored, I think it was 8 career goals. The Gauchi, the goalkeeper, looks okay, but apart from that, not a massive amount of movement. The lad that's on loan, Lembiskisa, gonna go with that. Sounds right. Better me say it than you. I don't know why Ennis has gone to Blackpool if you wanted the playoff snappers, and about you, mate.
Good lad. Keep calling me that.
Yeah. Well, it's true. I think. I don't know. I think they were poor yesterday. Obviously, this was an early kickoff, so I was able to watch the first sort of 35 minutes, and Barnsley did not lay a glove on Stockport at all. Stockport were outstanding, and I'm sure you've got loads of stats. You got loads of stats on them, but Barnsley, no attacking threat whatsoever. Rodriguez apparently is a real confidence player, according to journalists in France, but didn't play like he had any confidence whatsoever. Davis Keeler Dunn, not a centre forward. Connell, Russell and Phillips. I mean, you've got the makings of a good midfield there, but apart from Adam Phillips, he's got no one supplying the ball into the front men. No Keith and Earl, not stereotypically attacking wing back. So I'm worried for Barnsley. I think I had them 10th or 9th or 10th in my pre-season predictions. I like the appointment of Darryl Clark, but I don't know. Part of me just thinks it doesn't quite work. I'm not overly sure, but it seemed like they got him in because he did a really good job at Cheltenham, and they thought, it's a good question, Helen. I love how she's calling me Jakey already. This is fantastic. That's Dan's partner.
Oh, well, about
mine
to say,
and Dan. That is mine and Dan. No, it's mine and Dan's partner because me, Helen and Dan are in a nice little relationship that way. But but I don't know with Barnsley. I really don't particularly know.
I think they brought him in because Darryl Clark's worked on limited budgets before. Think about it, he has.
They had a bigger budget than last year, Ben, is what I'm trying to say.
I think everybody does. I think that every year you have to have a bigger budget because it's like workplaces. Minimum wage goes up, so your budget goes up. The cost of living goes up.
The landscape in League One, and I've spoken about this a few times, is just It's just absolutely mental.
It is absolutely, but I think that everybody's budget will go. If you look at Lincoln's budget 5 years ago, it has to go up because players are wanting more money now. Because that is football. It keeps going up. So I don't really buy into that. And although you've got a small budget, you can recruit better. You can, because for me, Barnsley is a good football club. It's a club with history. You're playing in front of 12, 13,000 fans every week. A good stadium. Yorkshire, it's decent place. It's not like miles away from everything. It's near, obviously Sheffield, near decent to Manchester, Leeds. You can get access away from it, which most of the time, no, I won't say it.
Most times it's a good thing.
Yeah, exactly. I won't say anything. I'm only joking. Barnes is actually my favourite place to go for a football match in League One, if I'm honest with you. I think it's the best away day in League One. Normally, because everybody gets 3 points or gets points there, don't they? To be fair.
You got a point there last year, didn't you?
Yeah, we should have won that game. They scored 87. And
did we win there last year? Yeah, we did, yeah.
6.
5-1. Yeah.
Was it? Oh, it was 5. 6 was against Cambridge, wasn't it? Just the one this year.
We can do it this weekend. Go on.
But going back to Stockport County, I think we have to give full credit to them and a lot of saltiness from the Barnsley faithful that or non-league, and they have come from the non-league, but Stockport County picked no.
Where did they come from? Where did they come from before non-league, Ben? It was in League One.
Exactly. No bones about it. They are an established football club, and for me, they are a top-end League One and a good progressive club. They've won 5 on the spin, and what I said was, and I got labelled stupid for this, I thought Stockport County, they are losing a star. They'll be a better team without Louis Barry. They will, because all of a sudden, they take the one gem out and they are now, all of a sudden, showing what they can do together. Instead of it was utilize Barry's pace and trickery and skill, all of a sudden now they're using other players as well, which is good to see. That who got the first goal, Jake?
Alafi.
Just I was a bit scared. Yeah, Will Collar getting a goal as well from the penalty spot. It's a great win.
Penalty, Ben, in your opinion?
Soft.
Well, it was a penalty. It was a definite penalty.
I've not seen it. I'll be honest.
I gave it away. Gave it away?
Go on, tell me, Josh.
There's a reason I'm asking you why.
Josh Hill.
Because he used to play for Fleetwood. Yeah.
Yes, I know. Josh, it just a clip, wasn't it? It was a good penalty, though, to be fair to him. And again, 10,000 Edgeley Park yesterday, electric, for an R12 kickoff, which are hard to get up for a lot of the time as well. Great victory, 5 wins on the spin. I think it's the best run since the League 2 days where they won 8 in the spin as well. They got promoted that year as well. A few weeks ago, they were looking in doubt to get a playoff space. Now, I'd almost say they are in there now. They've won half the games, Jake. 15 victories, a goal and a half a game. They are starting to look electric now. And they've got something on the other team. They've got energy. They've got power. And Dave Challenger's sides have come better later in seasons. The next 3, Bristol Rovers, Wigan, Cambridge. realistically, if they can go and get 2 wins in there as well before tough tests against Blackpool, Northampton away, Charlton, Bolton, Wrexham, and dogged Burton Albion to come, we'll know a lot about this Stockport side, but I think they're great to watch. Dave Challoner, I think he's a great manager. He's very steady. He's one of those types of managers who won't get ahead of himself. He's very, sometimes you want a bit of, a bit of passion, but you need in this stage of the season, you just need to dig out wins, difficult pitches, and they're finding a way.
Well, they'll be used to that, Ben, because of the amount of promotions and success they've had over the last couple of years. And I always think that when you have experienced that under the head coach that you're under, that's always a massive plus. Knowing that that he knows how to grind out results. Although the level is higher, the fundamentals are the same. You have to manage the game particularly well. You have to, ride your luck sometimes, but attack it in key moments. And what you said about Louis Barry leaving, I completely subscribe to that idea, Ben, because they completely sort of changed their system. With Louis Barry in the team, they had to play with wide wingers, whereas now what they've done is they've implemented a number 10 and gone 2 up front. And you look at the profiles of the centre forwards they've got, and Carl Wootton, big lad, wins the flick-ons, wins the headers, occupies probably both of the centre halves, which gives room to the talented Tanto Alafe, who is quick, will run, get in behind, will press, and inevitably, when he gets put in front of goal, he tends to do pretty well. But what stands out to me, Ben, and before I come on to that, I will give a massive props to Brad Hills on debut.
Yeah.
He was outstanding. Someone that I was desperate for us to sign on loan, but go to Stockport is the perfect move for what he needs, playing on that right side of the back three. Really good in performances yesterday as well from Callum Connolly, obviously ex-Fleetwood and Lincoln boy, doing really well. Carl Noy at wing-back was outstanding. Bate, Norwood, usual selves. But what I really like about the Stockport team, Ben, depth. We said their window was one of the best in the whole division. And you look at the players that they had on the bench yesterday, Ben, this Brecky Anderson fella, who's coming from Iceland, who scored a load of goals as a wide man. He's obviously acclimatising to British football. Odin Bailey came through at Blues, has done particularly well at Forest Green, and has done pretty well since coming on as an impact player for Stockport. Jack Diamond done it at this level. Micah Hamilton, well, you just got to go back and listen to what I said about him last week, about how outstanding a talent he is. Owen Moxon and Rydell, both really good players, Ben, that can contribute to a game. And what they've got on that bench there, Ben, is adaptability. Like if the game situation changes, Stockport have got options to completely change their system, or they've got options to completely change the way they play in order to get a result. And that's what I like about them. Dave Challoner is someone that I remember when we beat him, we came out and was critical of his players. And I like a manager that is critical sometimes in the public eye, but behind the scenes, you can just imagine Dave Challoner absolutely gets them lads going. And yeah, Stockport, the Stockport story is a phenomenal one. To come from the National League North to almost being on the verge of the Championship is really romantic. Obviously, they've done it with money, because you have to have money to be successful at this level. But still, to fly through the leagues in the manner in which they have, I'm really impressed by. And they are the blueprint now for any non-league team with a good budget to try and fly through the leagues, because they've shown, and Wrexham obviously, because we'd get stick if we didn't mention them as well, but they're on a slightly more unrealistic footing given the names of the owners. But Stockport County are now the blueprint, and that is the biggest compliment I think you can pay Stockport County.
They are. I agree with that. And Stockport County are champions mentality.
Correct.
Simple as that. They are win next game. Win next game. None of this runners up. None of this playoffs. And they were unlucky in the playoffs a couple of years ago. They've got to probably do it a different way this year. The top two's not out of reach, but they'd have to really continue this unbelievable run. He's a big ask, but if again the time of the run at a decent time, just to kind of give them some breathing space a little bit as well. And nerves will kick in at the end of the year, but they've got players. Moxon on a permanent signing, I thought was excellent. I thought it was one of the signs of
Yeah.
The later win never really worked out at Portsmouth for various reasons, but again, coming back up north, being close to his family, I think will help him as well. Rotherham 1, Shrewsbury 2, and I must admit, when I was reading the scores coming out, because the issue with commentary, I won't know any scores until full time. I don't see any scores, and I went down to League One, checked link, and I thought, there we go, brilliant. And then I thought. I saw Rotherham 1, Shrewsbury 2, and I came out with a big smile on my face. And that's nothing against Rotherham. That's because of how
you
much
love Shrewsbury, don't you?
I love Gareth Ainsworth. I genuinely, when we played him in the playoffs, he came out before the game, and I watched Barton's interview, and I thought, what have I just watched? I feel like we've got the player we're going to lose. I watched Ainsworth and he was calm, personified, speaking about his players. And he got his players to be like fans, like chat clapping. And I thought, yeah, he's done this. And he comes out after every game and he's so honest. He always gives a fair assessment and he won't speak bad about any other team. He might question the decision, but if he played Lincoln and you beat him 1-0, he'd talk highly of, not just because obviously relation with you, but I remember when Wednesday beat him 1-0 at Adams Park, he goes, I think we've just seen the champions, and you, as an away fan, you come away, you listen to managers a lot of the time, you think, what did I just watch the same game? With Ainsworth, I always feel I've watched the same game. Look, that first half yesterday was diabolical. I think it was the expected goals, the shots. It was a typical Gareth Ainsworth game, go and disrupt their rhythm, and it's perfect. I think was it the New York Talk came out and quite disrespectful towards Shrewsbury, if I'm going to say so.
They do an instant match reaction.
I thought it was very disrespectful to Shrewsbury. We should be beating teams like Shrewsbury. And I get it, frustration's building. But Rotherham, I think that's quite rich coming from Rotherham United this year, if I'm honest with you, that they have it in the Championship and they hate it themselves. Yes, they've come down here and yes, got promotion.
They were saying it about Rotherham last year, weren't they?
Exactly, and they're currently the 15th.
Stay humble, hey, Rotherham.
The 15th in the table, and they are basically as close to the playoffs as they are the bottom four. So, just in my opinion, they're 11 points off Shrewsbury now, and they are now, 10 points off the playoffs. So that's a little bit of a little stat. New York do some great content, don't get me wrong.
Good lads.
Great lads, but I didn't agree with that, if I'm honest with you. Again, a great victory for Shrewsbury. Taylor Perry, you know all about his quality. Often equalises, but John Marquis, again, the winner again. I think he scored the winner in the last, last few victories. He scored the winner in the last 3 wins for Shrewsbury. Some stats: Graham Alexander's first away victory in charge of Shrewsbury, just set the second this season.
Graham Alexander.
Gareth Ainsworth, sorry. I've been League 2 content, you say. Gareth Ainsworth for this second victory of the season, first coming away at Crawley. That's 7 unbeaten now against Rotherham, 4 wins, 3 draws. First time in 88 games that Shrewsbury have won back-to-back games in League One. Does that not say everything about the side? They actually won 5 games on the spin under Cottrell a few years ago. One of them, I think, actually included Rotherham, incidentally, but that says everything you need to know, doesn't it? 46 games that you're without a victory, 2 wins in a row. That's why you're down there at the end of the day. Since Ainsworth came in, it's 18 points in 14 games. In that time, rivals Burton Albion have got 14 points. In that time, Bristol Rovers have got 13. Cambridge have got 12. Crawley 11. Peterborough and Exeter 9. It's not that bad. It really isn't. When you think about it, do you know how many you've got in that time?
In how many games?
Well, since Gareth Ainsworth came into the football club.
That's the start of December.
End of November.
3.
Less than Shrewsbury, I'll tell you that now.
Yeah, I think it's 10.
14. You're on 26 points. Okay. You've now got 40. So, yeah. It's been a crazy start. Again, Rotherham United just won 3 of their last 19 against Shrewsbury. 3-0 last time out for Shrewsbury in March 2022. And Shrewsbury's been unbeaten in their last 9 league away games against the Millers since the last loss in 2007 there as well. Great victory. They needed it because when you think about it, them and Burton are really pushing on. They've got 9 points in the last 6 games of Shrewsbury. Burton Albion have picked up 12 in their last 6. There's still a gap, though. There's still a 4-point gap, but slowly but surely, Ainsworth's working his little magic.
There's somebody in this chat, Ben, that's not a massive fan of you bigging up Shrewsbury. That might be because his team are also in the bottom 4. I'll let you guess that one yourself. I'm sure you can work that one out. Yeah, Shrewsbury didn't. That even though they did, eh?
The one last week. No, the one last week where
really
I think
He's
there was
really
a block, then there was another block, then Jamal Blackman, I think, made a save and it somehow went over. I don't know how that.
He made a save away. I know they lost away at Charlton.
Ainsworth loved it. Ainsworth went, I love it, but I was like, oh, what a man!
But he made a really good save away at Charlton, even though they lost. And it's the same. He's really good at that. His height can often go against him, but when it comes to reach and the real corners of his goal, he's outstanding. He's able to. And what I liked about it, Ben, as a goalkeeper myself, is he was able to push the ball away to safety, and it was literally a split-second reaction. Really good save from Blackman, but a really good performance, really, from Shrewsbury. Taylor Perry, probably the man of the match, a goal and an assist. The goal was, I think it was quite fortunate. It just sort of ricocheted over him, and then it looped over the goalkeeper and the defenders. But that man, John Marquis, Ben, I think he's outscored of all Bristol Rovers centre forwards. So that may be looking like a bad move to let him go in the summer. But like you say, Ainsworth teams never lack character. They are outstanding when it comes to the fundamentals of the game. And yesterday, even though Rotherham pegged them back for 60 seconds, they're outstanding, and it was a well-deserved win. I look, they've got a game in hand on Burton. They're sat on the same amount of points. Obviously, you take nothing for granted. It's highly unlikely that they're going to win that game in hand, given the fact they've won 7 out of 29. But there's still a real big opportunity for them. And look, they can close the gap on Peterborough to 1 point, Ben. I would say this Peterborough team, looking over their shoulder at Gareth Ainsworth, Shrewsbury, going to go, hold on a minute, that's absolutely terrifying. I don't want anything to do with that. I feel like the Peterborough squad have that sort of mentality, whereas you compare that to Shrewsbury. I thought George Lloyd was outstanding. I think they've come out, haven't they, and said they rejected 2 bids from Leyton Orient, 6-figure bids for his services, and so he's working his magic up front for them with Marquis, and they're making a really good partnership. You've got the consistency of the back 4 is now all the same in terms of your 2 Feeneys, Aaron Pierre and Jamal Blackman. I think the familiarity that they're playing with each other every week, that particularly helps them. And then you can even say the same about the wing backs, Ben, because Benning and Hall have been the first choice pretty much since Ainsworth has come in. And what helps is when you have a really settled side, you know what each other's going to do. The capabilities, and Shrewsbury are slowly but surely figuring out each other's capabilities, and they look a really dangerous side. I mean, led by John Marquis, but Dane Oliver came on to try and kill the game off Ojo as well. Your man Harrison Biggins. Look, Ben, I thought they were outstanding yesterday, and fair play. It was a really big win for them because you look at the bottom end of the league and the results we had yesterday. Cambridge obviously drew, dropping points. Crawley lost. Shrewsbury won. Burton dropped points and drew. Peterborough didn't play. Bristol Rovers didn't play also. And Exeter, well, they're in free-for-all. So it's a massive, and it could be a season-defining win for Shrewsbury.
When Gareth Ainsworth came into the football club, by the way, since then, Peterborough have only picked up 9 points. As of Exeter are in real trouble. I don't care what anybody says. They've got this, and they've got this amount of points. Well, they do it every year. They had 23 points after 14 games. Since then they have played, X amount of games, and they are struggling, aren't they? They've got 9 points in the last 15 games. It's not good. They've lost big players, and a lot of work to be done. If you could like the stream, subscribe. There's 91 people in here, and you're not all subscribed, so make sure.
How many away are we?
We're 19 away, and I'll come and have
nippers on one in 35 minutes.
What?
We have one new
One.
subscriber.
Yeah, one.
Right,
Come
Sue,
on,
cover your ears because that is pathetic.
lads.
Come on, people. Get your burner accounts on. Get your mum, get your dad to subscribe. Please.
Exactly. I like the stream as well. What I like about this channel, there's 8 games this weekend. So you think slightly shorter show. 36 minutes into the show. 3 games. 3 games. That's how many we've done. Where else on this channel do you go for 10 minutes a game on League One Live? Next up, I got
Charlton.
Charlton Stevenage is the next bit. I've got a bit of sat for you. Charlton 2, Stevenage 0. Before this one, Stevenage was looking to actually win 4 matches on the spin for the first time since November 2023. And Charlton Athletics' Matty Godden scored in 3 consecutive league games for the first time since October 2021 for Coventry in the Championship. Good victory for the Addicts, who are slowly making the Valley a fortress again, going inside those playoff places with their 13th victory of the season. Big win, another clean sheet. Matty Gordon, Luke Berry getting the goals as well in front of 14,000 spectators as well. Slightly good form now for Charlton. They lost away at Rotherham and there was cause for concerns because I think they'd won 3, drawn 3 before that. They lost that. They've now won 4 of the last 5. So you think that's 7 wins, 4 draws and a defeat in the last 12, which is really good to see as well. 3 points away from the big 50 mark. Big games to come for them. When you think about it coming up, especially at the Valley, they're going to have to make that a fortress there. They've got Peterborough on Tuesday night. Got to go away to Birmingham and follow Exeter. If they can get 6 points out of those 2, and then potentially get a point away at Birmingham, it'll be a good month for them.
Yeah, Charlton, I've said this before, they're a really streaky team, Ben. And at the minute, they're just in a little bit of a hotbed of form, and it's seen them fly from just outside the playoffs to well within them, and that gives teams outside the top 6, I think, a little bit of hope that they can emulate that. But like you say, Ben, outstanding again at the Valley. 2 goals in 4 game minutes, but either side of half time, 1 from Matty Godden and 1 from Luke Berry. Looking at the stats, Ben, they completely bossed this game. No shots on target for Stevenage, which is an issue within itself for them. Just 12 touches inside the penalty area for Alex Ravel's men, but complete dominance. I thought they were outstanding. You look at your key performers. Back to a back 4. Edwards and Ramsey as the fullbacks are so pivotal to the way that this Charlton team play under Nathan Jones, bombing on and supporting the likes of Campbell and Thierry Small. Coventry and Doherty form a really good double pivot. I think they've got outstanding qualities. They keep the ball really nicely. Connor Coventry, obviously, a UEFA Europa Conference League winner with West Ham. Greg Doherty done it at this level previously and is a real outstanding footballer. Luke Berry back in the 10 where he's best. And you've got Matty Godden up front scoring goals again and to bring on the likes of Alex Gilbert, who's a really good player on loan from Borough. Mars Lieber, we've seen how good he can be, and Carnu, another young lad, but they're still left the likes of Chuks and Ike, Tom McIntyre and Mitchell all on the bench. So this Charlton team have got strength in depth, and that's what I thought they were lacking before when they went on these really inconsistent runs. So yeah, really good for them, really good win. Like you say, they've got some tough games to come. Peterborough and Exeter are games you'd imagine that they'd look to try and win, but that game against Birmingham, it's looking good because they know they can beat them. They should go to St Andrews, know that they've done it before, and they can do it again. So yeah, I don't know. It was a good win for them. Stevenage, blunt as a butter knife yet again.
Yeah, and in that time as well, Charlton have been accused this year of not scoring goals, being a bit flat. Last 12 games, winning 7, drawing 4, losing 1 away at Rotherham. Scored 8 on 8 occasions. He scored 2 or more goals as well, which is good to see for the Addicts as well. It's so good to see. On Friday night, I got a message off this man. Thought, what's away? Well, what am I doing? I was out at the time. Suspect you're doing the same. He's watching Mansfield against Northampton. At that time, I was out having me tea with my friend. So, yeah, we live 2 different lifestyles, don't we?
Well, what had happened is I just got back from 5-a-side. I'd got in the shower and put my my dinner on, and I just thought, hold on, there's a Sky Bet League One game tonight, isn't there? I thought, get in, let's have it. So I watched it. Do you want me to talk about it, or do you want to
I'll
talk?
bring you in a minute. Don't get me wrong. Before this
Okay,
one,
go on then.
Northampton Town had just won 3 of their 37 away Football League games against Northampton Town, drawing 9, losing 25, failing to score in 18 of those. So a great victory. And Northampton had only just won 2 of their 14 away games this season, failing to score more than 1 goal in a lot of those during that time as well. Great victory. Cameron McGeehan. Talk to me about him, Jake, because he's become a massive player. We watched him last year for Colchester, and we both said how impressed we were. And at this level,
I thought I was too busy trying to get Joe Taylor's attention that afternoon, not talking about Cameron McGeehan.
Yeah, well, anyway, so yeah, he was, and Jordan Wright as well.
Jordan Wright, good knowledge.
Until he went to the fishy friends down the road.
Good knowledge, Benjamin. That's outstanding.
There you are. Cameron McGeehan's 8th goal of the season. You got 10 last season, 9 in the league, and he's a bit of a attacking midfielder, but can play up front, can play on out wide as well, which he has been doing a little bit at times this year as well. Very versatile. Under Kevin Nolan, 3 wins, 3 draws, 3 defeats, 1.33 points per game. Big result for them. They set off on Friday night, needing to kind of stamp their authority, because if they didn't win that, all of a sudden they're dragged in. They're now 7 clear of that bottom half with back-to-back victories, which is massive. 10 points from the last 6 as well.
Yeah, I thought it was a really scrappy game, and you could tell. I think you could tell it was one between a team devoid of confidence in Mansfield and one that perhaps were playing within themselves a little bit under their old manager, but Kevin Nolan's come in and has brought them a new lease of life. I thought they're okay, Northampton. They should have gone 1-0 up through a penalty that they got. It was really poor goalkeeping from Christy Pym. Sam Hoskins, probably the most reliable man in the cobbler shirt out on that pitch, dragged his penalty wide. But to be honest, Ben, it wasn't a game with loads of chances. A real big turning point for me, I thought, was Lee Gregory going off. Obviously, Gregory and Will Evans have been able to form such a, not a formidable, but a decent partnership for them. And he went off, meaning that we got to see Jordan Rhodes. We'll come on to him later. But Vickers impressed me for Northampton. I thought he was tidy, but they just looked so devoid of confidence. And the goal, I mean, I came on here after we played Mansfield and said, if they're going to get bullied like that at set pieces, they're going to concede a boat full of goals this year. And they got bullied at a set piece, Northampton. Really lovely ball in. Cameron McGeehan with Jordan Rhodes. I think there's maybe an argument for a foul, but it'd have been soft. Good header for him. And Northampton just saw it out pretty comfortably, I thought. I was impressed with the midfield 2 of Shaw and Taylor. They were outstanding, with McGeehan sort of playing that 3 role in front of them too, with Eves and Fosso up front. Yeah, it was a really big win because, you know, they played before the other results. They got 3 points on the board. They made sure that, you know, they're now, what, like you say, 7 points clear of that, 8 points clear of the bottom 4 now. It was crucial for them. Mansfield, though, Ben.
Yeah.
To be fair to Mansfield, they made chances. They did. And they fell to the right person because, if you know, after Lee Gregory, you'd want the chances to fall to Jordan Rhodes, but he's not played a lot of football this year. And I think you could tell he snatched at 1 or 2 of them. Jordan Rhodes of last season, Ben, 23-24, probably scores all 3 of the chances that he makes.
Yeah.
But Jordan Rhodes, 18 months on, having not played a great amount of football, well, he missed all 3 of them. And to be honest, that will leave some Mansfield fans thinking they could have got something from the game. But they didn't. So, yeah, really good, really big win for Northampton. Back-to-back now, Ben, we should mention as well.
100%. I did mention that before, but don't worry about it. It's the second time this year, Jake, that Mansfield have lost 5 games on the spin. The year just before Christmas, that ended with a 0-0 draw away at the Valley that look, it did include defeats. I think, Bristol Rovers, Wrexham in that period. Don't get me wrong, but
this one's more alarming because
it is more alarming because
Crawley,
it's the end of the season. It's like, have they got the feet up
Shrewsbury.
thinking? Because they were 4 points off the playoffs. They're now 10 points and 11 off the thingy. You're thinking, do they think the same?
Thingy, great analysis, Ben. The thingy.
And the 10 points off the playoffs and 11 off the drop. Do you think they're safe? And the business in the January made that assured. Look, it's a good season for them. Them being in that mid-table is a great season. They did take us at the end of the year, but too patchy. They go on good runs, they go on bad runs. 5 defeats on the sprint. At this moment in time, they are a charity. They are the speed camera at this moment in time. When you think for the relegation teams, Northampton struggling, 3 points. Shrewsbury flashing, 3 points. Crawley struggling, 3 points. Cambridge struggling, 3 points. Wickham, they were unlucky in. Wigan in the FA Cup. Look, the FA Cup doesn't matter. We're out of it. It's the greatest competition in the world when we got to the 5th round a few years ago. Beat Bolton, beat Stockport. Worrying. I think they will improve. I do think they'll stay up comfortably. I think the aim should be 60 points, and I think Cloughie won't like it. Cloughie's sides, he'll be fuming. He'll be absolutely in house, and he's made a few comments saying that this is not his team. This is not the side that they have been. So they've got to be better. And I tell you, a side that he isn't helping at this moment in time is Burton Albion, because Mansfield have lost 3 home games on a row for the first time since 2019. Burton Albion need Cloughie, a legend of that football club for many reasons, to start beating the side around them. But good news, Borough again has scored 6 goals in 8 appearances in 2025, the joint most in any of the top 4 divisions, alongside Chris Wood, Phil Foden, and Jean-Philippe Mateta. There you are. And Burton Albion have won just one of their last 7 games against Blackpool. That did come last season. However, they normally end up draws, these games. Burton Albion up in the game for so long. A late sucker punch from the seaside is a decent point for Blackpool. Another draw. Albion Morgan's 94th minute guided a header into the corner. I saw an angle. Say again.
Really good header.
Yeah, really good header, and I saw the angle from the Blackpool's perspective as well. Great header, good ball in as well. I really like Bud Folson's flick on for Borough's goal, actually. So them two linking up together is nice. Burton have been unbeaten in the last 6 games in the division, winning 3, drawing 3, last enjoying a longer run between September and October, 7 games in 2023. That is as well. A decent point for Burton before the game. However, I think I'd left that ground feeling a little bit upset, thinking, could that come back to bite us? Because they've still only won 5 games. Yes, those have come recently. I think there's only 1 defeat in 9, but like Fleetwood last year, too many draws. You need to turn those draws into wins. Draws will keep you alive. I said this to David before. You need victories to make the ground up. They're now 4 points behind Peterborough, but they've played more games. They'd feel like a lost opportunity. When you're on top in games, they've got some tough games coming up. They've got Bristol over Stevenage and Lincoln again this month. I don't think they'll keep drawing. It's about turning those draws into wins. And Gary Bowyer has improved them, but need to start winning. Because I think they'll probably need another 23 points from 16 games, which is a tough ask.
It is, Ben, but you base I don't know. I mean, I'm sure you've done the maths in saying that the PPG they've got over the last 7, if they can.
Yeah, over the last 6, they've got 2 points per game.
If they can continue that, then you'd imagine we'd be talking about Burton Albion instead. But that's the tough aspect of it, isn't it? They've got to. It's really easy to get yourself in that sort of form. It's difficult then to replicate that for another 15, 16 games, which they've got to do. Yeah, I don't know. This game was one of missed chances, I think. Blackpool had 1 or 2 that they maybe could have scored. Burrell went in on goal, and I don't know what he was trying to do. He maybe should have taken it around the goalkeeper or tried to use that left peg of his to lift it over the goalkeeper like he did for the first one. But overall, I think it was probably the right result. In terms, you look at the stats: Blackpool more shots, Burton more on target. Same, Blackpool marginally more touches in the Burton penalty area than Burton. The way that the game state's sort of fallen, Burton fans will be walking out of the Pirelli feel a little bit gutted. but I think to draw against a team like Blackpool, who had won their previous 2 on the road, Ben, away at Exeter and away at Lincoln, they're in decent form away from home. And you look at the team that started for Blackpool, a lot of it is of really good quality. And Niall Ennis up front, Rob Apt has had an outstanding season. Albie Morgan is probably in the form of his recent career. CJ Hamilton offers a lot of pace as well. So, look, what Burton fans, I feel like a little bit have been used to, certainly over the last 6 weeks or so, maybe used to winning games. So when you drop points, it all of a sudden feels like a disaster. But if Burton can continue to win games and continue to pick up points, Ben, they'll make it interesting. They'll go all the way to the end. And under Gary Bowyer, you have to be fair to him and say that they have actually instilled the basics to a lot higher level than they were doing under Robinson. You know, he's made them defensively better. They're now scoring goals. This Burton team, you were worried they weren't going to score many, 2 goals a game. They were fortunate they scored 4 against Rotherham the other week. So, yeah, I don't know. I like this Burton team. There's a lot of likable aspects in there. Certainly the number 24. He's a fairly decent player. But we'll. I think on the face of it, if you'd have offered Burton fans a point before kickoff, I think they'd have taken it.
I do, and it was nice. Obviously, Gary Bowyer against Steve Bruce. Gary Bowyer, probably since Ian Holloway, is the second best Blackpool manager since that period. When you think about for the job he did and the circumstances he did, I actually think, obviously, bar Critchley, he's been the best since Holloway. I think probably, obviously, Critchley had a better circumstances, a better squad, better budget, and obviously family inside the stadium. Bowyer didn't have any of that. Bowyer again and Ainsworth, 2 old pros going in. I think the thing is, from a Burton perspective, I look at my experiences of last year. Those last 20 games of last year, honestly, I was so ill going to games. I came away, because you put so much energy into it. This year I've not, and it's not really felt the same. It's not really been a lively season so far. That's all I'll say. They'll feel disappointed, I think, because Northampton won. Shrewsbury are winning games of football, and everyone seems to think Peterborough. They look at Peterborough and don't count Peterborough. Like last year, I didn't count Reading. I always looked at Reading, although they got the deductions. I thought they'll get away from it because you can on the Tuesday they'll get deducted 2 points. They'll go and win in the evening. That's how they work. Reading were too good to go. Like that was a good squad. I never really. There's always that team down there that you don't really count. And if I'm honest with you, I look at that table now. I think I'm going to say this now. Cambridge and Crawley, I think, will get relegated. I think they are so. For me, they are only 2 points, but I'm not seeing anything from them, which is Burton have won less games and are still in the mix. Peterborough are struggling. We'll come to that at the end of the stream. Actually, we'll have an Exeter. There are teams down there that you just need to pull a few in together. We'll know a lot about it. There's a lot of games, a lot of League One lives coming as well, even on half game weeks as well. Don't you worry, son.
What, mate? Oh, come on! I'm busy.
If you want paid at the end of the year,
if I want the Wembley tickets, right? Well, I'll have to do it, won't I?
Well, at the moment you're on the back seat of Wembley. That's where I'm going to put you.
You better not. I don't like heights. Can I ask you a question? Are we celebrating the 1 year anniversary tomorrow?
Oh yeah. That came up. What? Mine and Sue's picture came up on my my memories before.
Yeah. Are we celebrating the referee sending the wrong man off?
I got no memories of me and you, right? But me and Sue, where's you? That's it.
I'm here, Ben. Our memories are all on YouTube.
Year, right, between us viewers, I asked Jake last year, right? How selfish is this? And he knows what I asked him. I asked him, would you rather this ninth, right, and Fleetwood get relegated, or finish 10th, like a point away, right, and Fleetwood get relegated, and Fleetwood stay up? I thought, it doesn't mean anything. He waved at me.
Bye. Thanks for coming.
I was like, does it really matter?
Yes, it does.
Well, you finished 7th, but you still was sulky.
Yeah.
So you should have taken 10th. Anyway, how are you, mate? How's the cathedral these days?
Nice.
1-1.
Yeah,
Joe
nice.
Gardner received a red card just 4 minutes after coming on into a substitute. It was the fastest dismissal in a sub in the League One game since David Wheeler last season against Barnsley in March 2024. Fast dismissal, 4 minutes. Normally for you, that's quite a long time, isn't it?
4 minutes is a very long time. It's certainly average, I've heard. Can I ask you, Ben, did you think it was a red card?
No, then I think it's Gary Monk's got him sent off.
Correct.
You sent it me yesterday. I saw it straight away. He's gone in for the ball, not for
and I think you have to remember he's a 19-year-old lad making his professional debut. And in fairness, Ben, if you look at it, Joe's got the ball and he's running towards the corner flag. And he's got possession of the ball. The Cambridge man just completely nips in front of him. How on earth he's meant to stop himself from making contact? The contact isn't high at all. It's not studs up. Mark Cohn, who's the co-commentator on BBC Radio Lincolnshire, when I was driving home, he said if that's on the other side of the pitch, it's probably a yellow card. Probably was a yellow card. But the reaction of Gary Monk and the Cambridge United official, not supporters, nothing to do with supporters, the players and the Cambridge United backroom team and the manager was absolutely disgraceful in trying to get Joe Gardner sent off. I understand it, trying to get an advantage, but then if you look at what they tried to do after we went down to 10 men, they didn't try and win the game. You know, you'd have thought, all right, well, we're playing against 10 men now for 10 minutes, let's go and win the game. They react like that and they don't even try and win the game. So I thought it was really poor from Gary Monk and the Cambridge United playing staff. Never red card. Sorry. Carry on.
Can I just say one thing on Lincoln? And I want to say this, not just because you're my mate. And look, I speak about Lincoln probably a lot more, you know, with the supporters, and I don't want to get the crowd by their judgment. My opinion is, and this is going to sound very harsh, Scubala is just Mark Kennedy that went on a good run last year because of a certain Joe Taylor. Right? The football, mate, listen to me. Mark Kennedy in year one finished mid-table, a decent finish with a less budget, a less talented squad. You have got a better squad now. In your first 15 games this year, fair play to me, you got 26 points from your first 50 games. You're in the playoffs. Your last 15 games, mate, you've got 14 points.
Yeah.
Which is relegation form.
Correct.
It's simple as that. Let me finish. I don't think this manager overall is getting the best out of this squad. There is a talented squad in there. And I think there's incidents that's happening in the squad where players, you can quite clearly, are going thriving elsewhere. Rob Street going out on loan, JJ McKieran going to another League One football club that has been better than you since he went in.
Dylan Duffy.
Dylan Duffy. I think there's questionable decisions. He's a young manager. I get that. I don't really like his managerial style. I don't like his interviews. He comes across as a bit of a. You listen to Ainsworth, you listen to Bo, you listen to managers in League One. I listen to a lot of them, and they're very knowledge. You can see this clearly switched on. He doesn't give anything away. He's very abrupt, I think, as well. And I think that he isn't getting the best out of those players. I don't think Lincoln City, who want to be a progressive football club and defy all odds, I think there's something not quite right there. Lincoln City, 3 years ago, was a good season for Lincoln City. 10 wins, 10 draws, 10 defeats. But last year, you raised the bar. That's the standard. You've been nowhere near the standard for the last 3-4 months. Let's be honest about it.
I agree.
Me, Lincoln aren't progressing. Lincoln are where they should be in the table. But I think there should be a review. And I think there's some dark days for Lincoln coming up. I think there's going to be a few poor results that might change people's minds come the end of the year. I'll say nothing against Lincoln. I want Lincoln to be successful. I want Lincoln to do well. I genuinely mean that, man. I'm not trying to wind you up. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, I disagree on the style of football a little bit. I think under Kennedy, I can't remember as
you said to me last week you don't like watching you.
No.
Why?
I think that's because we were losing. what I didn't like under
3-1-1.
Kennedy
Went
was
Wigan.
that we could score one. There weren't many games under Mark Kennedy we scored one goal. And in fairness to Michael, his teams do generally create chances. Like yesterday, I mean, the issue is we just can't score them at the moment. Like yesterday, before Cambridge had a sniff, and Cambridge didn't particularly have a sniff all afternoon. Before they scored, we should have been 3-0 up. Like we should have been 3-0 up. We had the goal. We had 10 equal goes. Should have gone through and should have shot, but he tried to pass it. We had Drape. We had one cleared off the line. There was a potential penalty for a handball, which I haven't seen back, so I won't count that. But we make chances. We do make chances, but the problem is it's predictable. And once you stop Lincoln from playing that way, Lincoln have got no idea how else to play. It's obvious that we're trying to get the ball out wide, play the ball back for Sean Rowan to cross the ball into the box and play for set piece. It doesn't work, and I think he's been found out a little bit. Am I Skabala out? I don't know. I think he could still get a good tune out of it. I certainly don't think Paul Warren's the right appointment.
No, I don't think a managerial change needs to happen. I think that there needs to be a change in approach, and I think you're very
Correct.
plan A if plan B doesn't work.
Yeah,
you're bang average, mate. You are bang average. This squad is better than bang average.
Yeah, it is. Well, it is.
For me, look, Ben House has been a good servant to you. If you want to progress, I'd be getting rid of Ben House.
Correct.
He scored 21 goals, I think we said yesterday, in 100 games. Yeah. That's 1 in every 5. You need players to be 1 in 2, 1 in 3.
We need. Yeah. Well,
I get what Ben House offers off the ball. Centre forwards at League One need to score goals. Simple as that.
Yeah, I think what we're getting I think we've got in Draper. I think he could potentially become a 1 in 2, 1 in 3 type of centre forward. We've got Collins, who's a 1 in 3 type of centre forward. I don't think Lincoln fans are moaning about the style of play. Paul Warren is not going to improve that. Paul Warren might get us up, but look at what happens when Paul Warren football isn't attractive. It's the exact same. It's get the ball long and play for set piece like we are now. I would much rather, if we're going to change manager, which I don't think we should do, because I think Michael's really astute. I think he's a good head coach. I think if Michael, and this is not an excuse, if Michael had a bigger budget than anybody else, I think Michael, if he had a bigger budget than what he's got at the minute, I think we'd be up towards the playoffs. I do.
Can I ask you one question? We mentioned about Louis Barry going out of Stockport.
Yeah.
Ethan Rahan in the summer leaves Lincoln
in the
City.
summer. Correct.
Do you think
and Sean Rowan, by the way.
Do you think that'll make Lincoln change dynamic? Because
in
a way, he's been this squad. It's not a bad thing. This has been stuck together a while now, and it's been. You think about it. There's a lot of players that were there last year and players that were there the year before that have been in mid-table. Maybe just a few new faces just to freshen
that
it
we
up
spend money on. What I think needs to help. Obviously, I've been told 1 or 2 things that perhaps the relationship between the players and the head coach isn't that great. I mean, the whole thing about Sam Clucas yesterday was a PR fiasco. It was awful. It was absolutely horrendous. I think if Lincoln are going to change manager, I'll talk about Ethan Rahan will be sold this summer, no doubt about it. We'll get good money for him. Happy days. Look, Ethan, you've been a great player, but we need the money to progress. Sue's ready for it.
You're not signing anyone, are you, in that position for money, I hope?
Yeah? I should hope we are. For 6 figures as well, Kershaw.
Can I just say as well?
And Sean Rowan.
I messaged Brendan Wirradu when I was with you, and I gave him strict instructions, anyone but Lincoln.
And what I should say is Sean Rowan as well. I think he'll go in the summer. But we tried to shoehorn him in as a left-sided centre-back. I think Michael's wanted to play a 4-back since he came in. I think he's wanted to play a 4-back, but he's sort of been led to play the 3-back that Mark Kennedy wanted to play. So I don't know. Michael's had 3 transfer windows now. I think we at least need to give him the start of next season. Personally,
Okay. Freddie Draper signed a new contract as well, and I've heard
ages
strong,
on a binder.
strong resources in that period. No, I won't make the joke. Don't worry. Huddersfield 0, Reading 0.
It happened. No one scored.
No one scored. There was nothing in the
Very
game.
good.
Huddersfield haven't won for 5 matches. They've drawn 2. They've lost 3. They're going for a bit of a rut at this moment in time. They were 16 unbeaten. Reading drew again. They've not been brilliant. Reading and Shrewsbury, by the way, I've got basically, because they play each other, I think on Tuesday, or in a couple of weeks, either Tuesday or a couple of weeks. I know it's on Tuesday. They've got identical records, basically. I think that Reading have scored a goal more and had a goal less against them as well. So should be an interesting one. Again, not much to talk about. Shall we go to predictions and come back to the League One table?
We got to look at the table.
Let's just do it, mate. Come on.
Can
A big thank you to Anne-Marie, by the way, who became a member. So a massive thank you to you, who became a member. Legend.
Correct. Right, predictions.
Not counted up the predictions.
I have counted up the predictions.
Yeah.
Actually. Okay. Benjamin. You got 2 correct scores this week.
And did I get one of them Lincoln?
No.
All right.
One of them was Stockport Barnsley.
Yeah.
Do you know the other one?
Let me have a look at the results.
It involves a team that you support.
Oh, yeah. It was Burton Blackpool one. It was 1-1.
Yeah. And I got 1 correct.
Bruins?
Obviously. Meaning that I got 5 and you got 8. So the current gap is 11 points.
What? So again, how many did you get?
5.
Oh, so you're behind me then?
Well, yeah, obviously. But so we've got midweek coming up, Ben, obviously. But we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I'll do the first 7, and then you, the way it falls, just how lucky are you? You get the full 12. So
get in.
Right, okay. My one, first one, Tuesday night. Because we're not
7 games on Tuesday.
Oh no, please don't.
Yes.
No, I'm busy this week. I genuinely
I'll
can't.
do it on my own. I'll do it on my own.
No, don't. We'll just do a bumper show, mate.
Don't worry, I'll do it.
Oh, fine. We'll do a show on.
No, it's fine. Don't worry.
No, we will. We'll do a show. We'll do a show.
No, it's fine. I don't think I can do a show anyway.
Eh?
We'll see. I'll let you know. I don't know if I might be able to. I might be busy.
Do you want to predict Saturday or not?
Let's just predict Tuesday and Saturday.
Okay, all right. Birmingham versus Cambridge is the first one. I'm going to go. Oh, I could nick your 3-0 Birmingham off you here. Birmingham 3, Cambridge 0.
4-0 Birmingham.
Blackpool versus Rotherham United. I'm going to go Blackpool 2, Rotherham 1.
2-0 Blackpool.
Bristol Rovers against Stockport County. Gas 1, Stockport 1.
Gas 0, Stockport 2.
Charlton versus Peterborough. I'm going to go Charlton 0, Posh. Charlton 2, Posh 0.
Charlton 1, Posh 1.
Crawley versus Stevenage. I'm going to go Crawley 1, Stevenage 1.
Crawley 2, Stevenage 1.
I'd love that. Leighton Orient versus Mansfield.
Why? Why?
Me and Farley got a bet on.
Well, what's the bet?
Whoever finishes higher gets 20 quid off the other person.
All right.
So we've got to finish above Steve.
Anything for a better cash, you lad.
Absolutely. Leighton Orient versus Mansfield.
I'll be surprised if you don't ask me to pay you the subsidise as well.
No, I wouldn't do that.
What's the game?
Don't worry, mate, because it's my go first. Orient Mansfield. I'm going to go Orient. Orient 2, Mansfield 1.
Orient 2, Mansfield 0.
And finally, at 8 o'clock, because of the buses, we've got Reading versus
That's stupid. Stupid.
I'm going to go Reading. Is it Reading Shrewsbury? Oh,
Come on,
Reading,
Butler. Get that bus out.
Reading 1, Shrewsbury 0.
Yeah. Butler's bus is going to get all the passengers there in time for a 2-1 ding win.
Okay, moving on to Saturday, Ben. You are up first.
Good lad, Dan.
You come round to my house, Dan, if you like. Bring Helen with you. Cambridge versus Exeter, Ben.
Biscuits, she's got rich teas.
No, I don't have biscuits anymore, mate. I'm on protein puddings. You know that.
Okay.
Did you not listen? Cambridge versus Exeter. Early kickoff.
Oh my God.
Even Anne-Marie's getting involved. Love it.
They're both as bad as each other.
Aren't they?
1-1.
Cambridge 0 or Exeter. Oh no. Cambridge 0, Exeter 1. Northampton Wrexham, Ben.
1-0 Wrexham.
Can you just highlight Sue's comment there? I am allowed a cheat day, which ironically is Saturday. So, cornflake cakes, please, Sue, again. They're outstanding. Rice Krispie cakes, sorry, they're outstanding. Northampton, Wrexham, Ben, what did you go for?
1-0 Wrexham.
I'm going to go 2-0 Wrexham. Barnsley, Huddersfield, Ben, in a Yorkshire derby.
2-1 Barnsley.
I'm going to roll reversal. 2-1 Huddersfield.
Okay.
Blues versus Charlton, Ben.
2-0 Blues.
I'm going to go back them for back-to-back 3-0 wins. Who else have I got? Blackpool, Mansfield.
2-1 Blackpool.
2-0 man. 2-0 Blackpool. Bristol Rovers against Burton Albion. Oh.
Bristol Rovers 1, Burton 2. Martin Patterson last year. And you know what I've noticed about Pete Wild? His fist pumps annoy me, right? So you know what normal managers go like, whoa, hey, hooray, hooray, and then clap. Pete Wild goes, yeah, 2, like that. His third one's too erratic. It's all over the place.
Michael does this.
I'm going to speak to him. When I do the podcast, I think I might be in this week potentially. I'm going to speak to him because it's genuinely. And he needs supporting. He did it at Barrow. I'm going to teach him the technique. That sounds awful. That sounds awful.
I'm gonna go Gas 1, Burton 1. Crawley versus Wickham, Ben.
3-0 Wickham.
I'm gonna go 2-1 Wickham. Leyton Orient versus Lincoln.
2-1 Leyton Orient.
I'm gonna go 3-1 Leyton Orient. Reading versus Rotherham. What?
So negative.
I'm a realist, though. Reading Rotherham.
Right, Derby. What?
Reading versus Rotherham, mate.
2-0 Reading.
1-0 Reading. Shrewsbury Bolton.
1-0 Bolton.
Shrewsbury 2, Bolton 1. Stevenage Peterborough.
2-0 Posh.
2-0 Posh, get in.
Sorry, how bad it's gone. It was the same couple of years ago, wasn't it? Both our seasons over, just battling for that place. Matty Virtue.
Matty Virtue scored it, didn't he?
He
Eh?
did. We had a bet a few years ago. Mike Virgil scored. Was it against Cheltenham?
No,
It was in someone like that.
Shrewsbury.
Shrewsbury. I knew
We
there was like a
won. We
bottom half
won 1-0.
Yeah.
We missed
We
the
won.
penalty though, so it could
We
have
do
been 2.
2-2 against Ipswich.
Yeah, well, you had a harder game, didn't you?
Yeah, not Ipswich
But-
again.
But we did.
Best side to ever grace League One, by the way. Finished second.
Can I just say, if there anybody that supports 2 teams here, winning at home park is not for everybody. That's all I want to say.
Keeping a
I'm gonna
clean
go-
sheet at home park isn't for everyone.
Correct.
just
It isn't.
saying,
But it's
yeah.
for us, Ben. It's for us. Right.
But
I'm
yeah, well,
gonna
that
go-
season, us and Port Vale were the only teams to go to
Yes.
home park
Yeah,
and get something.
Yeah, Port Vale beat them. You drew and we beat them, didn't they? Did Port
Yes.
Vale win?
Oh yeah, but Port Vale drew, I think, or won. Or I don't know.
Well, we're
I
the
just
only
know.
team to
I know
win
that
home
season
park.
they won 20 games at home. I think you were the only side to beat. You and Vale were the only side to beat them.
I'm going to go Stevenage 1, Peterborough 1, and then Wigan versus Stockport. I believe Stockport sold out the relegation. Yeah.
Oh, I might have to go to that. Bag up Bromley
Are you
away.
are you not playing on next
Bag
Saturday?
up Bromley away. Think of the views. 2-0 Stockport.
Oh, yeah, 2-1 Stockport. There you go.
There you are. Any questions before we finish out for the next 5 minutes? Let us know. If you haven't already, like and subscribe. Be appreciated.
How many away are we?
Oh, we're 15 away. It's fine. It's not
All
gonna
right.
matter.
So these lot are useless, aren't they?
Don't say that.
Come on, people. You need to get your burner accounts on so we can get Nappers subscribed up to 16,400.
Where can they go?
I don't know why people would want to follow me, but here I am. You can now see my at.
If Fleetwood get promoted, I will do 12-hour live show just on football and get guests on during the day.
Well, Fleetwood aren't going to get the top 7, so don't worry about that.
Well, Kershaw keeps getting me excited.
Oh, here we go. Don't start this.
What?
Oh, we're going to get top 7.
Never said that.
We're
Never
not
said that.
No, that's
Never
what
said
I'm
that.
No, I know you didn't, but I'm insinuating.
I never said
I'm
that.
inferring.
I didn't celebrate the win yesterday. It was a good win.
Question: does Jake like chili? No, I like spag bowl though, Sue.
I do like a spag bowl. My favourite.
I don't like chili con
no.
carne. It's
Not
beans.
my favourite food. Penny arrabbiata, no chilies. Well, I don't know. I went all of a sudden. I got an accent now. Penny arrabbiata, no chilies.
Sounds like Sue's cooking lunch for me there, so that's exciting.
It was yeah, that's what I was going to say. There was a bit of a twang there. Penny arrabbiata. No chilies.
What else have we got? Who is the best individual signing from this? He's trying to get us to say a Burton. He's trying to get us to say a Burton player, mate.
Bodvarsson for impact.
I'm going to go for JJ McKiernan. Love you, Anne Marie.
3 points off the players win our games out. Yeah, but Kershaw.
Yeah. You've got to win them, though, Kershaw. You've got to win them.
Can I just say, if this was Jay, won yesterday. Oh, never say never. You never know.
Win him, yeah.
Games in hand, but when he's got the points in the back, I'd rather have 2 games in hand than 6 points. But if you had 4 points over someone, or 4 points is all that matters. Games in hand doesn't mean anything.
I think, no. I think Fleetwood finished 10th in League Two.
I said 12 at the start of the year.
Yeah, it'd be a good season for you, that.
It would be. It would be. Not a bad way to go out, would it? Yeah, again, that solid season in league.
If you can like finish the season well, like if you can say win 4 or 5 on the bounce at the end of the year, finish 10th or like 8th or whatever. Or,
I don't want to finish 8th.
Well, no, you don't want to finish 1 point at place outside the playoffs. You're right, you don't.
You'll ring me.
Painful, very painful.
To be fair, I didn't wind you up last year. To be fair,
check out Jakey Boy on Twitter. Correct, Scott. Appreciate that.
Yeah.
What else have we got then, Ben? What are you doing after we've got off here?
Chilling, mate. Just chilling. I've had a 26k run today, so I'm in a bit of discomfort. I I'm obviously near the 42k that I want to do. So just chilling. Back to work tomorrow. And then hopefully a club statement will be out soon.
A club statement?
Yeah. Corner flag coming out with a plate on it. Instead of the corner flag. Tuesday off to Tranmere, mate. Off to Tranmere on Tuesday.
Nice.
And then I've got Bromley and Grimsby to come up in the next few weeks as well.
You going away to Grimsby?
Mate, I don't miss games. Unless I'm ill, I don't miss games.
Do you want to can I send you a Lincoln shirt for you to wear in the away end of Grimsby?
I'm all right, thanks, mate.
Are you in the away end? Are you doing comms?
What?
Are you doing comms?
I'm in the away end
end
now this
month,
R1.
Can you tell Jordan Wright is a useless lump?
You loved him.
You know, I had a chat with yesterday.
Go on.
Well, I said chat. It was very much a one-way exchange. Danny Andrew.
Oh, did you? What did you say to him?
He was putting his water bottle down on the halfway line, and I was walking to my seat for the start of the game. I said, "Hey up, Danny. Napper says you're useless. Is that right?" He just laughed.
Did he?
Yeah. Just had a giggle.
Yeah, I like Danny, to be fair.
Scored a great goal at our place.
Yeah, he did. Remember that. Go on, say it.
We still beat you though, didn't we?
Yeah. I remember when we beat you on my birthday, though. Super Sean Rooney.
Oh, yeah, that one don't count, mate.
Why?
I just don't count because you spent 500 grand on 2 strikers, so it don't count.
Yeah, but that's Pilly Free's last will and testament.
Don't count.
Anyway, thanks for watching. Please like, please subscribe. Thank you to Jakey Boy for joining me.
Thanks, mate. Loved it.
Thanks very much. Have a cracking week.
And we'll see you on Wednesday night.
Potentially Wednesday night. Potentially Wednesday night.
It's my day off the gym, so if you want to do a show, I will be there.
I'll let you know. Mate, I don't do days off, mate. Well, I had one yesterday, but all that. See you later.
Bye. Sorry, Ben, you've joined at the wrong time.
Unlucky.
Bristol Rovers.
Oh, creaky, my lover. I've joined too late.
Right, yeah, don't do that.
Yeah. Play up Pompeii.
Dan, come round and bring Helen with you. Come on.
Oh, mysterious wild. I want to play 3-5-2. See you later.
Ta-da!